What is up, watch friends? Welcome to Friday, another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. And today is, well, it's Friday. It's the Q&A. We do this every Friday. So for those of you who don't know, new subscribers, whatever, every Friday we do a Q&A. So if you want to participate in the Q&A, just ask your question in the comments below and it'll be featured. Sometimes we have really good questions. Sometimes it's really fun. Sometimes we get, whatever. But, it's all good. We just have a good time doing this, man. It's just kind of a way to break up the monotony and some of the watch world, I guess. And besides, I like to hear the questions you have for me, and I like to answer them. So that way, it's all good. It's not just one person shoving a bunch of information down your throat, I guess. I don't know. Today I'm wearing my Rolex 126710 BLNR, the GMT Batgirl. My favorite Rolex, and the only one I have here in the house. So that's good. So anyway, let's roll the intro and we'll get in the Q&A. All right. Alrighty, so the first question comes from Darren Fry 4695. Hi Tony, I know your love for a certain German Nomos, but have you seen Union Glashütte watches? They have some nice pieces. Also, LOL, no one in England speaks like that apart from the royals. Oh, you're making fun of my oh, I say, let me have your watch, I don't know, man. I lived in England for 6 years, and I've been there a ton of times since. And when I lived there, I lived with an old posh lady, and she did speak like that. So she had a posh accent. She didn't have a London accent, like, yes, another pint of brown, mate, cheers, that kind of thing, or Scott Bogner-Regis, mate, you know what I mean? Not like that, you know what I'm saying? She did have a very proper English accent, Mine wasn't so good. Although when I lived there, I developed an English accent. So anyway, yes, I love Nomos. Nomos are awesome. Have I seen Union Glashütte watches? Yes, I have. I think they're part of this watch group. Not 100% sure, but I think it's Union Glashütte who's part of them. They make really good homage watches to Tag Heuer, Breitling, JLC, you name it. I'm not saying they're a bad watch. I guess they have their own in-house calibers and in-house balance wheels, hairsprings, all that stuff. But there's nothing about that brand that I really like. There's nothing that catches me to where I go, holy shit, I really like that. It just kind of looks like stuff that's just already been done. Oh, JLC, let's check this one out. So I'm not going to really rag on them because I can't. I don't know too much about them. I just know who they are. They just never caught my radar, and I've never seen them in person. I don't know, if they had them at the AD where I could pick them up, feel them, try them on, it may change things, you know what I mean? But for the most part, all I've ever seen is maybe like a video, or I just know about them somehow from, maybe magazines and whatever. But thanks for your question, dude. I appreciate it. This next one comes from Tina-FQ3SD. Hi, thanks for this. You're welcome. I don't know what this was, but thank you. I have a Datejust ladies watch with the two-tone Jubilee. The Rolex AD has told me that the bracelet has stretched. It is just shy of 35 years old. Had it from new. That's crazy. You've had that watch for 35 years since it was new, huh? That's awesome. And you wore it too, which is great. You must still be wearing it because they're saying it should be replaced. I'm quite happy with it as it is now, and worried if I don't replace it, what the likelihood of it breaking and falling is. As never had any issues, and it looks great, plus the $2,000 to do it, on happy face, as well as replace the hands, which I don't want to do, but worried I should do. Any insights on Jubilee Stretch and the pins breaking? Well, yeah, Jubilee Stretch is common, especially in older watches. Those pins they start to get, after the wear and tear, like the newer Jubilee bracelets like this, not so much. They're more reinforced and they're a lot stronger. But the older ones, yeah, I mean, it's just so common in Rolex Jubilee bracelets. And what that if in case you haven't seen my video, anyone out there, I know you did, Tina, but that's when, if you hold the bracelet up like this, like the watch, and then say let go of it, right? So that watch, I mean, there's no stretch, but if it was stretched, it would sag down. You know what I'm saying? So, but it is common, and I've seen some really, really bad Jubilee Stretch on bracelets, but I've never seen one break. I'm sure it could, and just be so worn that it'll just, deteriorate. And yes, I would get it taken care of. As far as your hands on the watch, if you don't want to replace the hands, just let them know you don't want to replace the hands. That's not a big deal. But the bracelet is. I would replace the bracelet. If you've had that watch for 35 years and you still love it and you still wear it, it's worth putting the $2,000 worth into it, especially considering how much money have you put into it over 35 years. You know what I mean? Just like a car, you have to service it every, so many miles, right? I mean, could you imagine going 35 years without ever servicing, changing the oil in your car? It would have never last, right? So if you take how much you've put into your vehicles and serviced over all those years, $2,000 is really not all that much money. You know what I'm saying? So I would just put it through a whole service, but then let the AD know that you don't want to change the hands, you don't really want it polished, and you don't want to change the dial either. All right, however you want to do it, but you can tell them what you want and don't want. But the most important thing is getting that bracelet changed. So thanks for your question. I appreciate it. Thank you. This next one comes from Ristopia 4101. Hey, Tony, question for Friday. If a watch has sub/parts of second hash marks on the chapter ring, how important do you feel it is that they correspond to the beat rate of the movement, ticks per second, of the second hand? I'm not a fan of them in general, although they are kind of compulsory on a chronograph and probably suit the design brand of three-hand watches. It messes with my OCD when you have to say 8 clicks per second watch with 5 segments per second when it would need to be 4 or 8 to line up. Dude, you're that freaking OCD. I assume there's always I assume they are always there for the seconds hand on a chronograph, but maybe the manufacturer would say there are for minute hands on three-hand watches. I know Omega had a Speedmaster that got it wrong, and Hanhart, who specializes in stopwatches, seem to have done it on their three-hander. Dude, wow. I think what you're talking about, well, you're never going to get it close enough on this watch. So you've got Rolex 28,800 beats per second, and in between, say, the 12 and 5 o'clock position, there's 4 dots, right? Those little marks. And so instead of it beating 1, 2, 3, 4, and then per second, right? So Rolex is like, I think 7 or 8 per second. You're thinking it should have 7 or 8 or whatever it is between. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with no. That doesn't bother me at all, dude. But if it bothers you, I guess it's a legit concern. So I wish you the best with your OCD, man. Thanks for your question. All right, this next one comes from Stack and Droll 8267. Tony, great video. What strap do you suggest for Omega 300M 2531.80? You're talking like a rubber strap or something? 300M. I mean, you can get WIS make a good strap. WIS, Watch Industries something. WIS, the integrated strap. Or you can go with like a Rubber B or a, what are they called? Zalande. But I have a Zalande strap that I bought for my SMP. And for the $200 or $175 it cost, it was not worth it for what you get. In fact, I did a video on it and complained about it, and the owner sent me a text message at 4 a.m. saying he was less than pleased with my review. And I'm like, well, I'm less than pleased with you sending me a text at 4 a.m. Don't text me anymore, dude. And I bought that strap, these are great straps. If you go to WIS straps, they do make this strap for the Omega. And then if not, there's so many other brands out there that make straps. You know what I mean? I would do some research on it. I like, again, something like this. I don't know how much this is, but I think it's under $100 or maybe $100, but a lot better than spending $200 or $300 on a strap for that watch. But thank you for your question. I appreciate it. Sorry, man. I'm looking at how much time I've been on here. So next one comes from Sorrow, Sorrow, SAR0 or O0. I would love to buy my first Rolex from an AD. Do you think today's market is possible to make that connection? And could you give any advice, Tony? Yeah, I mean, I've only done, I can't tell you how many videos on advice on how to get a Rolex from your AD, but I guess it bears repeating considering I haven't done one in what's now considered today's market where the watch industry is come down quite substantial, or it's corrected to where it used to be. Not quite where it used to be before like COVID, but really, really close. And I've always said this, and I can say it again, and a lot of my viewers have sent me messages saying they got their watches because they listened to what I had to say. A lot of people that were like the trolley type people were like, you're wrong, you're this and you're that. I even had one guy who said I was wrong and messed up and effed up and all that stuff. And then a couple months later, he sent me a message and apologized because he ended up getting the call. You know what I mean? But the most important thing is go there in there knowing what you want. Now, keep in mind, it depends what Rolex you're looking for, man. If you want a Daytona, you're just not going to get it. If you want a GMT Master 2, you're going to have to probably pick something else up. You're not going to get it right away. Submariner, most likely not going to get it right away. So it depends which Rolex you're looking for. But at the same time, go in there knowing what you want. Don't have a whole list of every model and reference number going, I want this, and if you can't get that, give me this, give me that. You know what I mean? Know what you want, go in, be cool, chill, just lay back, you know what I mean? And be yourself, you know what I mean? If you're an asshole, then they're going to pick up on that. And, keep in mind that no matter what anyone says, you know what I mean? The watch market's dead or whatever it is, you still, for the most part, can't walk in and buy a sport model for sure. Some Datejust, you might get lucky and be able to do that, but they still have other people that are waiting for watches, you know what I mean? And you got to make sure that they're going to put you in their radar to where they want you to have that watch, you know what I mean? So just be cool. I wish you the best of luck, man. Beetle Fang, awesome video, Tony. Thanks. Thank you. My question this week, where do you go to get your watch tools? Like little screwdrivers and stuff for straps and bracelets. Do you order them offline? You mean online? Or go shopping offline to a retail outlet? I picked up a set from Esslinger and wanted to know if there was another place to compare them, compare items, etc. You know what, man? I haven't bought anything in so freaking long. When I was really like legit doing watches and making watches, assembling watches and whatever, I would go to Hovig's downtown Los Angeles in the jewelry district there. And they deal with a lot of watches and a lot of watch accessories, a lot of movements, things like that. So I would get tools from them. And it was so long ago, that it's, I want to say 25 years ago, not 25, maybe, but 22 years ago, maybe, and the watch tools that I have, I had been given a watch toolbox, but the tools aren't that great, but, so I'm not an expert on watch tools now. I'm so out of that loop, dude, but I wish you and I think someone commented on your question and kind of guided you in the right direction. So best of luck with that, man. This one comes from Shepard, Shepardt. Have you had any issues with the 1847 MC movement? Thinking of getting the white dial to contrast with my Speedmaster, but I've heard about some movement issues. Have you had any issues with the 1847 MC movement? Thinking of getting the white dial to contrast with my Speedmaster. White dial what? Which one? They put the 1847 MC in several Cartiers, man. I've had no problems with it. I don't even know of any problems. It's a robust workhorse of a movement. Cartier made a great movement there. If there is any issues, now keep in mind, I always just go back to the car thing. You can buy any car, brand new and whatever, and have an issue with it, right? And then it's like, that's it, that's it. I had an issue I bought a brand new Honda Civic and it fucking blew up the next day. That's it. Honda suck. You know what I mean? You get people like that. You can buy a watch and have issues with it or the movement, whatever. And then people spread this whole thing like, no, those watches suck. Those movements suck. They have nothing but problems because you had a problem with it. You know what I mean? I had a problem with the Zenith when I first got it. I sent it back in for service because it was running slow, whatever. And then I got it taken care of at Bindi Jewelers with their watchmaker. Then something happened. It was running slow. I gave it back to I'm sorry, I was just getting a text from Juan. My AD is texting me right now. Anyway, so I got the watch back. I'd sent it to Zenith. They sent it back. And then it was still not running right. So I sent it back again and they replaced the watch. It was just an issue. That was it. And it was like, no big deal. It's a great watch. This is the replacement watch and it's been running great. So that kind of thing happens, So, yeah, it's just one of those things, So I've never had an issue with the 1847 MC. So good luck with whatever Cartier you're going to get, dude. This one comes from Pelt Work. Oh, this isn't even a question. This was a comment. CD Peacock in the Chicago area will quite literally tell you that you need to buy some jewelry if you want to get a call on a Rolex. I've been told that personally by several salespeople. I keep telling them I have no interest in jewelry. So the reason why I printed this out is because a lot of people, say that, oh, you have to buy jewelry, and you won't get a Rolex. And I've never heard that before. No one's ever guided me to buy a piece of jewelry because I want a Rolex. I've been to a lot of ADs. Sometimes they'll offer up other watches and say, we don't have any Rolex right now. Have you thought of this or this or this and this? Just try to be helpful. But I've never literally heard someone. So anyway, I guess this goes to anyone in that Chicago area. CD Peacock will quite literally tell you that you need to buy some jewelry if you want to get a call on a Rolex. And you've been told by several salespeople. So you've gone in there several times and every one of them have told you that. So anyone out there have that issue with CD Peacock in the Chicago area? Comment below. This next one comes from Angvin. Hey, dude, what's happening? You just got a new Rolex, didn't you, dude? You sent me a picture of it. Congrats. Wear that in good health, man. Hey, Tony Agnew from Sydney, Australia. Firstly, hi to your awesome cats. Hello, Uku and Paco. She's like, huh? What are your thoughts on the Rolex OP41 Silver as an everyday watch? As usual, mate. Love the show. Well, you just got one of those, right? So you tell me. I think the OPs are great as everyday watches, man. The thing is with the OP, as opposed to say the Datejust, the Datejusts have, if you're going for the Oyster bracelet, they don't have polished center links, you know what I mean? So like on here, it's scratched up down here, so you don't have to worry about scratching it or anything like that. It's a robust watch. It's I think the best timekeeper you can buy. And people are going to try to get a Grand Seiko, whatever. The thing is, I've owned so many watches, man. I guarantee you I've owned more watches than most of the people, especially the ones that are trying to tell me that a certain watch keeps better time than a certain watch, because I've most likely had that brand. But yes, Rolex OP, dude, killer everyday watching. Congrats again. This one comes from ZDRUK1. Hi, Tony. I'm interested in getting a Vacheron 56. I know years ago, before the COVID boom, certain pieces, even at a place like Rolex, could come with a form of discount. I'm wondering if you have heard any of the high-end brands, not Rolex AP or Patek, giving discounts on some of their less popular pieces. I can't imagine Vacheron would do that for an overseas, but do you think they would give me a break on a less popular piece from one of their lines? I always prefer to buy from a boutique, but it's hard when watches are trading below retail on the gray market. Not at a boutique, you're not going to get a discount, dude. Boutiques don't usually discount at all. It doesn't matter what it is. Cartier, nothing. They don't discount. They might give you a strap or something additional as a gift, but they won't discount. You're interested in getting the 56. The 56 is an amazing watch, dude. That's not a watch that is less popular than it's less popular than the overseas, but the 56 is a great watch. You'd be hard pressed to get a discount. You might not even be able to get that at the boutique, man. I would call them if I were you, but I don't know, man. It doesn't hurt to spend a little bit more if they're not going to give you a discount on something like a Vacheron, for sure. You know what I mean? If it's like an Omega or something, I'd be like, nah, if you can get a good discount, try to get a discount. You know what I mean? But I think Omega might give discounts at the boutique now that I think about it. So I don't know. Thanks for your question, dude. Last question. Tony, is there an OEM brand for the 2531.80 reference? Yeah, I mean, an OEM brand, that's the original manufacturer. Just contact the manufacturer, their website, whatever, and see if they've got something for you, whatever you're looking for, man. I don't know exactly what you're looking for. You're just asking if there's an OEM brand. Obviously, there's an OEM strap because the watch comes with a strap from the company. Like this bracelet's an OEM strap to this Rolex, yeah? So I don't know. You have to be more specific, dude. Anyway, thanks, you guys. I always appreciate it. And you guys have a great rest of your day.